Hey guys, I've got these two mini Marshall formats in at the moment. Both are in for mods. So at the top here we've got the obviously the Studio Classic series, the 800, and the good old Origin 20, which anyone who's been following my channel or might be aware, I did a mod for this back in December of last year, and a bunch of guys who've seen the mod on the internet have actually gone through and made this mod themselves to their own Origin. The mod actually kind of takes the Origin to 800 territory, kind of circuit wise, but adds a few other touch-ups to kind of, I guess, to hot rod the 800. So look, while I've got these two in here, I thought it'd be a nice little clip to put together, a kind of, one versus the other. It's a bit unfair perhaps. This Origin has actually been modded by me. I've obviously implemented the Headfirst mod to the Origin, but I've added diode clipping into this as well, which is a bit of a flavour that I'm kind of working on a bunch of mods at the moment. Adding the kind of pretty classic Jose clipping options. So it's got a three-way Jose clipping switch in it. In the intro clip, I was actually playing this with no clipping on, so this is just a stock Origin mod, the Headfirst mod that we do, and we'll quickly get into an AB with the this stock amp. This JCM800 lead series here, the Studio Classic, will be modded. So tune into the channel, see where we go with that. I will be posting clips, as I always do with my mods, with a tonal walkthrough and a discussion about the mods that I've made and how you might make them to your own Studio Classic amp. And for this Origin 20, I'll be doing the same. So what we're hearing today is the finished modded amp, but I will follow up with a more detailed view of what I have done, because I've taken my Headfirst mod here and extended it with diode clipping. So I've now moved this into the first clipping mode, so let's have a listen to how the Origin is sounding now. This is a Pete Thorn signature, sir. It's got thornbuckers in it. Obviously, being a Pete Thorn signature. These are low output pickups, right? So very much PAF style humbuckers. So they're not driving that amp that hard. So this Origin is now kind of very much making its own gain, if you like. There's no boost. There's nothing in front of the amp. I'm going basically straight into the front, right? So what you're hearing here is very much the pure sound of this Origin. What I'll do now is I'll go to the last clipping mode that I've implemented. So we have a three-way clipping. It's no clipping in the middle position. One way is the first clipping mode. The other is the second. It's just slightly more compressed and has a slightly different tonal variation. As I said, stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to follow this video up with a detailed walkthrough of the mods that I've made to the Origin, which is a recap of the Headfirst mod that I published back in December, but as I said, extending that with the Jose diode clipping option. So what I'm going to do here is just bring the master up a little bit, because with the in the second position we do need a little bit of volume. It's slightly more compressed. Alright, so now we'll put the Origin through its paces, the modded Origin. Let's have a listen to the stock 800. Okay, we've got the 800 fired up now. This is a Studio Classic series. I will pull this amp apart when we get into the mods, and we'll have a good look in a future video about what makes this thing tick. It does have a high and low wattage mode, so I'm really interested in kind of getting into the guts of how Marshall have implemented the power scaling. Just for this little clip here, we've got the amp dialed in. I've got the bass at about 2 PM, the rest of the controls are on midday. The master's on about 3, okay, so kind of let's call it 10 AM, and I've got the preamp gain up at about 3. I will say, in terms of the Origin, I didn't mention how I had that dialed in. Pretty similar actually across the board here. I've got the preamp gain on at 3 o'clock as well, and the tone controls across the tone stack here pretty much the same as the 800 that I just mentioned. So the stock 800, it's a nice sounding amp, right? These things sound pretty cool. Yeah, I could play rhythm all day with that tone. For leads, I'd want something a bit more. It's you know, it's there, right? But you've got to fight a little bit with an 800 if you want to play lead on it with nothing in front, no boosts in front. I think when we're finished with the mods on this, it'll be a different kettle of fish. We will get a bit more gain out of the core circuit. We'll see where it takes us. But yeah, I thought interesting comparison. As I said, this is a modded Origin compared to a stock 800, but I thought it was a useful comparison to post on the channel on the basis that you get a sense of kind of where our modded Origin, which I have published a complete DIY guide on, so if you want to do that yourself or have a local tech implement it for you, it's all up there, right? It's all up on my YouTube channel. You can grab those details. It's on my website. I've got documentation you can download, and you can help yourself with mods on this thing. But yeah, you can kind of hopefully hear that the mods on the Origin really kind of take it into territory that allows it to box above its weight, because the price of this Origin, with mods, is still going to be a lot less than buying one of these 800 stock. taking nothing away from the 800, I think this is a cracking amp. And especially after I think I've modded it, I'll probably like it even more. I'll see you next time, guys.